Okay, part 5 collisions. In this video, I will show you how to add the code that will handle the bouncing off of the ball, the ball bouncing off of the player paddles and also bouncing off the left and right edge of the screen. So let's get started. In code.org Game Lab, there are a bunch of functions that are provided to us that handle interactions between sprites, specifically collisions between sprites. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. What we need to do to cause a bouncing off of the edge of the screen is actually to put in a sprite on the edge of the screen just outside of our field of view. So we're going to put a sprite over here, like a rectangle that we can't see because it's off the screen on the right and the left. There's a function that builds those for us. We could make them ourselves the way that we made the other sprites up here. But with one line, we can add those edge sprites, or we can have Game Lab add those edge sprites for us. That command is add edge sprites. Create edge sprites right here. That's not where I want it. I'm going to put this right here, just above the draw loop, outside of the draw loop. So like I said, that's going to create 4 rectangles, left, right, top, and bottom. It'd be cool if we could see those, and we can if we sort of increase our field of vision with a camera command. So we could say, we could zoom the camera out to see this. So I can bring in camera.zoom and set that to like 0.8, maybe that would work. And there they are. These gray rectangles are our edge sprites. Easy as that to create some boundaries that we can now use to make the ball bounce. Okay, next thing. I'm gonna first set my camera zoom back to 1. So it's just normal. But if we look at this, try and get it to hit the side here. Let me change the X velocity real quick just to demonstrate that. There, it doesn't bounce off that edge sprite yet. We have to add another command that says, hey, when those touch, make it bounce. And that is just ball.bounce off. I'm gonna go to text real quick here. In my draw loop, I could say at the top here, ball.bounce off left edge. That's one of the edge sprites. And change my X velocities again, so we can see that collision. There it is. So you see we get a bounce. Nice. And so then we would also want one of these that says ball.bounce off right edge, and that would take care of the collisions with the left and the right edge. But what I'm going to do actually is wrap an if statement around this, because I want to add a sound effect. I want to add a bounce sound effect, which will add quite a bit of pizzazz to our game. Control and if. I think that if the ball bounces off the left edge, then we're going to play a sound. And I'm going to move this to the bottom of the draw loop, or at least underneath player controls. Oops, that's not where that goes. Right there. If the ball bounces off the left edge, we're going to play a sound. And the sound that I had was app button 5. App button 5. And we want one of these for the right edge as well. So I'm going to Command C, Command V. I'm just going to change left edge to right edge. And nice. Working. Okay, good. And I'm going to go back up here and dial my X velocities back down to where they were, -7 and 7. There we go. Good, done. So we have bouncing on the edges, but we also want the ball to bounce off the player paddles. So let's put that in. For that, we're using a different collision command, and it's the isTouching command. We can go back down to the bottom here to control, pull in another if statement, and that's going to be if ball.isTouching player 1. There we go. So as soon as the ball touches player 1, we want it to bounce off of player 1. So we'll use ball.bounce off player 1. Then, as you may have guessed, we want the same statement for player 2. And let's go ahead and give that a run and try it out. I'm trying to play both players, and there it goes. We're playing a game. Look at that. We have a very rudimentary Pong game in action already. That looks really good. Something to notice here is when we get a collision, that the ball bounces such that the outgoing angle between the direction of the ball and the paddle, or the horizontal, is the same. Like if it's coming in at a 45-degree angle, it goes out at a 45-degree angle. If it's coming in at a 15-degree angle, it goes out at a 15-degree angle. If you were in science class, they might say the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. And that's how things work in the real world. Like this is accurate physics to the macroscopic world. But it would be nice if maybe we added a little bit of randomness to that. So it wasn't so the bounce off of the paddle wasn't so predictable. In other words, like if the ball's coming in at this angle, it might bounce out at this angle, or it might bounce out at this angle, or it might bounce back at some weird angle. That could be a little fun, just to add some unpredictability, some randomness. And we could do that by just, again, putting in that X velocity command into these isTouching if statements. So if we take this command here from when we initially set the ball's X velocity, and then we can duplicate that and then pull it down here into the bounce off if statement for both of them. And now when we play the game, look, did you see that? Like the bounces, we get all these like sort of wackadoo bounces, which I think makes it a little better. I'm playing Pong against myself now. Nice. We also, it'd be nice to add a sound when it bounces off the paddle as well. And we can do that. And I used button 5. I use the same sound as here. So we can duplicate that and pull it down here. Let's try that out. Nice. Good deal. That is looking much better. One last thing here. Notice when I run this that I can go way off the edge of the screen. I'm holding the A key down and I'm still moving to the left. So if I hold the D key down, now I'm moving to the right and I gotta wait till I move all the way back onto the screen. There I am. We need to be able to constrain the player motion to the screen. So it'd be nice if actually the player paddle would bounce off the left and right edges as well. And we can do that with the bounce off command as well. I'm going to put that right after the if ball.bounce off right edge. I'm going to go to text here because I'm also going to add white space. I'm going to say player1 dot bounce off left edge. And we also want player 1 to bounce off the right edge. And then let's duplicate these for player 2. And I'm going to put a little white space in here just to separate these. No, that's fine. Let's see if that works. So yes, indeed, I'm holding the keys down, and I now cannot move off the edge, which is kind of nice. Wonderful. Looking good. That's the wrap for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in part 6. What are we doing in part 6? I'm not sure. In part 6 we're going to handle what happens when the ball is missed and it moves off the top or the bottom of the screen. I think that's where we're going next. Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.